in the book that we're launching today. Grey Matters, A Guide for Collaborative Research with Seniors by Nancy Marlatt and Claudia Ames makes us think. It makes us think about aging, and it makes us think about engaging. It makes a difference. It's challenging us to involve older adults in the research in which they are discussed. And it's challenging seniors to take on new research that can benefit both themselves and the community. Now, as a press, we like to think that our research we publish does make people think, but we also want to make sure that it is making a difference. And that's why we've chosen this book as our first open access publication. We don't want this book just to reach people in Calgary or Southern Alberta or even Canada who can buy it at a local bookstore, if you can find a local bookstore these days. We believe that this kind of book can make a difference around the world. Around the world. Open access publishing means taking away the barriers of cost or geography. It means making this book available free on our website. So if it's 2 in the morning in Manchester, England, and you suddenly want to know about how to conduct a focus group, you can find that chapter on our open access website. It'll show you how to do that in a minute. What we're launching today is more than a print and a digital version of Grey Matters. We're launching a whole new way of engaging with the communities with our book and the ideas it holds. This too is new. The University of Calgary Press just doesn't publish books. We kickstart conversations. We want to be a catalyst for ongoing discussions and develop new ways of evaluating that discussion. How are we think we're making a difference, but how can we prove that? That's not something we can do alone. And the beauty is we don't have to. This project has brought together some amazing partners and colleagues whose experience and connections are giving this project an unprecedented breadth. The Kirby Centre has been a key player in the original research for this book, but more than that, it's been a leader in innovative thinking about aging studies, and we'll be hearing from them shortly. The Canadian Institutes of Health Research provided funding for the original research, and we're delighted that Anne Martin Matthews is able to join us today and bring some greetings. We're very much looking forward to working with the Faculty of Medicine. I'm pleased to thank Marilyn Hebert for coming with us today from the Community Health Services. This really is a community health topic, isn't it? For sure, and a very good news story. We're excited that the Marigold Library System in Southern Alberta picked this up and said, no, we want to be involved as well. And they're going to be working with us to promote this book to the rural seniors who want to do research out in the country. And I personally want to give special thanks to the Calgary Foundation and Janet Hales. I'm not sure if she's here with us today. But the Calgary Foundation has provided support for the project. But just as importantly, we've been able to draw on their experience and their passion and commitment for the city in developing some of our future directions. Talk about making a difference. The Calgary Foundation does that every day. The book just arrived in our office yesterday, but already it's stirring interest and enthusiasm across the country. We're delighted to be looking forward to working with Catalyst, which is a network for third age learning, and they're already looking at research projects that can involve this book. All of this is possible because our press is part of one of the leading universities in this country. Under the leadership of Tom Hickerson, we've opened a new Center for Scholarly Communication, directed by Mary Westall, who's with us today. Tom has also been the man behind the dream of our new Taylor Family Digital Library that will be opening next year. And on that note, I've been asked to bring very warm greetings from Dawn and Ruth Taylor, whose vision for digital learning is really shaping a new generation of students at the university. They were disappointed that they were unable to join us today, but they extend their very happy congratulations. And they were thrilled. She said they were thrilled to think that this would be the first open access digital book in the new Taylor Family Digital Library. We're really launching a whole new world here, aren't we? But that's enough for me. We have several key speakers this afternoon. Our authors will tell us about the book, and then I'll show you a little bit of how to access it digitally. And then, we're not totally that modern, we'll have an opportunity to buy the print version of the book as well. But first, let me introduce a very special person who's been involved with the Kirby Centre as past president of the Kirby Centre Board of Directors for 2008 and 2009. And she's been one of the original senior research in this project. Maureen Wills.
Microphones scare me. They have that unique ability to suck all the moisture out of your mouth and deposit it under your arm. A very resilient person once said to me, if you're ever going to make a speech, tell a little joke, because it's always nicer to have the people in front of you smiling. And I speak from experience sitting 6 years on council. So when I was a little girl, the Dead Sea was only sick. That's it, I'm sorry, I couldn't think of anything else. Anyway, I'm very proud and honoured today to welcome you to Kirby Centre. And I do that on behalf of Hank Harima, our President, the Executive, Board of Governors of the Assembly, Luann Whitmarsh, our CEO, our caring, dedicated staff, Dorothy Dooley, representing the Centre of Excellence, hundreds of loyal volunteers and membership. So welcome, it's great to have you here today. I would like to recognise Patricia Allen, who as CEO was instrumental in the beginnings and who spoke so often about the word resiliency. I also would like to recognise Sheila Power, who was president at the time, for her participation. And I want to thank you all for giving me the skills to research, facilitate, interview, and collect data. I have used those skills in my community at Cochrane, although I have yet to win the 649. Kirby was certainly an integral part of this project, and we would welcome more partnerships through our Centre of Excellence. We are proud to offer services and expertise to all our seniors, including a safe haven in our shelter. As a larger senior centre, we take great pride in being courteous, compassionate. We work as a team. We have respect for each other, and that's the secret of our success as we move into a new endeavour. I would like at this time to also recognise Anne Hartley, who was my team leader in the rural areas when we collected information. I would also like to say hi to my long-lost friend, the late Joan Ryan. When Joan collected the materials from Nancy, we would head to Bragg Creek, and there we would look them over, proofread them. Those were wonderful times when I heard stories of her travels with the Dene and Lubicon Indians. The word resilience really, it doesn't actually in itself do anything. It sort of just lays there. When we look at all the other words we could have chosen from the dictionary that would inspire us, like yellow-bellied sapsucker, or great white shark, or even pit bull. But however, that one word had my attention for 3 years, and I can't believe the good times we had. We first of all went to Cochrane, and we filled the hall and took so much information it was unbelievable. We then went to Bragg Creek, And there we were to observe. So we followed seniors around, taking notes, and I'm happy to say we didn't get arrested. We ended up at Okotoks, and the senior centre and the FCSS gave us a potluck supper. And our presentation caused such a stir that when we actually came to collect the data a couple of weeks later, it was standing room only. This is something that's snowballed. It's grown feet. I believe that we have enough data left for another book. So in conclusion, I would like to say thank you so much for all this wonderful stuff. Thank you for being here today. Thank you to all the neat people I've met, and don't be a stranger to Kirby.
I can't imagine anyone talking to Maureen and not smiling, so I don't know if you need the jokes or not, but that was lovely. It's now my pleasure to introduce my boss. Tom Hickerson is Vice Provost, Libraries and Cultural Resources and University Librarian at the University of Calgary, and it is his vision and his passion for open access and digital publishing that has really brought us to this table today. So please join me in welcoming Tom Hickerson.
It's a real pleasure to be here today. And I like the Dead Sea joke. I have to remember that one. I come into this process relatively late in the evolution of a result that has had all types of contributions by so many people across this area of Canada, and now this community, which this project itself has built, has reached a point of tremendous outcome and celebration, and that is that's just fantastic. And all the people who have made this happen should feel so proud. But I want to say that we're at the beginning of the next phase, and the next phase will be bigger and better. And hopefully more fun. I don't know if it can be more fun, but it'll be close, okay? And we'll certainly try to do that. And I want to second all the thank yous that Donna Livingstone conveyed to all the participants in terms of sponsorship of this activity. We certainly appreciate their contributions. They're all people who make things happen in the Calgary community, and so we see the result here today. But I'd also I want to take the opportunity to thank Donna herself, because Nancy Marlett was at a presentation that we had on the campus day before yesterday, and she exclaimed about Donna, and so I want to say how proud I am, and on behalf of the university, how proud we are to have someone with the vision, with the enthusiasm, with the energy that Donna has. So I'd like to have a round of applause for her. Nancy referred to this as action publishing, and I love that term. And I'd like to call attention to the fact that publishing is a form of extending the conversation. Publishing is not just in the publication of a particular book, but it's a process of the dissemination of knowledge, the response to that knowledge, the creation of new knowledge. And so that is why a book like this, that is about research, that it's about involving the seniors in their own welfare, for which they're very well prepared to speak to, but that they can create new knowledge via this process, that it's an unending stream of intellectual curiosity and intellectual outcome. I would like to put this process in the context of an international movement, which we had on campus the speaker who in 2002 signed the Budapest Open Access Agreement, 16 people, and